Hello everyone, this is Pratibha here, and today I'm going to talk about how to write a short story. Now, a short story is a shorter work of fiction which is usually shorter than the length of a novel, and it can be read in one sitting, say from 15 minutes to 1 hour, and usually it has a word length of say from 1000 to 7500 words. Due to its limitation of length, it usually centers around one single event, a few characters, or one central theme. So generally it moves around one central conflict and tries to deliver the story in a few compelling episodes or scenes. Unlike a novel which handles multiple plots and themes involving significant number of characters, a short story conserves the characters and scenes into a concise narrative. It is limited in scope, where characters may not be fully developed, though they may be dramatic at times. You can say a short story is limited in scope, and hence to encourage economic storytelling, a complex plot is omitted altogether. Overall, it is kept simple and written with great precision around the three parts, which is the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. So now I will list you a few quick tips and techniques to write a short story. So number one is the story idea. First and foremost, you have to work around the main idea of the story. Take some time to think and come up with a strong idea around which you will craft your story. Now, how can you do this? You can check up newspapers or magazine for some unusual happenings of the day, or you can check up the current issues and base your story on the current issues of the society today. Or you can check up pictures and conversations on social media such as Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest, which can inspire you with a lot of superb ideas. Another of the best way to get inspired is to write a story based on your personal experience or someone close to you. It may be that there is something that you think about or passionately feel about, and you can write your idea based on that idea or cause. Or say a certain fear, problem, or tension might haunt you, and that may be an excellent trigger to create a story based around that particular emotion. For example, I recently wrote a short story on bullying, as I heard a lot about it from my children and also from the parents of my children's friends. It was easy from then on, as I had a grasp on the main theme of the story. The setting was already decided, which would be the school premises, and I created characters that would drive the theme of the story. I explored the theme from the point of view of the main characters of the story and thought about their feelings and emotion, and from then on I let my imagination run. Then next comes the character development. While developing the characters of your short story, take time to observe the people in your life. Spend some time to watch the people in your neighborhood or in the park, or when you go to an event or a party. They may be from different age groups depending on the requirements of the story. So choose your research locations accordingly. Use any interesting character traits that you noticed and incorporate them in your story so that it is more impactful. Take time to know your character well, such as their likes, dislikes, their fears, their past, their setbacks, and so on, so that you can tell the story in a way that your readers can relate to. Then the next step is to work on the outline of your story. Outline your story using these 5 elements, which is the exposition, the inciting incident, the rising action, the climax, the falling action, and the resolution. Following these elements in the right order will give your characters a goal or a purpose and put them in situations where they will be bound to make a decision. The first element, which is the exposition, introduces the characters and tells about their likes, dislikes, as well as their backstories. You get a sense of the kind of challenges the character has in their lives, or you can say the seeds of conflict are planted here. The next element is the rising action, where a series of events unfolds and the main character is in crisis. The central problem is well defined here, which sets the story in motion. Then we have to work on the third element of the story, which is the climax. So here is where most of the action happens, which is the peak of the story, and the drama intensifies. The fourth element, which is the falling action, comes after the climax, where the conflict gets even more clear and the story begins to slow down. The main crisis has passed and all the problems are addressed and the gaps filled up. You need to tie up the loose end towards conclusion as the story winds down. The fifth and the last element is the resolution, where we need to wrap up the story and resolve all the pending issues towards conclusion. So misunderstandings are cleared here and all the final answers are revealed to the readers, where they finally find out how the character lives ended, whether happy or sad. Also keep in mind that while creating your story, you can first create a one-sentence summary. You can then expand it into one-paragraph summary. Then you can write a synopsis of all the characters and start working on each of the scenes from then on. Then the next tip we need to work on while writing a short story is the opening scene. Hook your readers with an engaging opening scene. Start with a conflict or action that grabs the reader's attention and gets them thinking. Depict something that intrigues the readers and raises questions in their minds. Like for example, for my short story by the name Kindness Always Pays, the main character of the story is intrigued by another character in the opening scene. So questions are raised in her mind as she wants to know more, and this also involves the readers who follows the main character to know the answers. Then the next tip you need to work on to write your short story is the first draft. So use your outline to work on each of the scenes. Keep expanding and processing on your scenes from then onwards to create your first draft. Don't worry too much about grammatical errors or the flow, but go on writing as the story comes to you. You can edit and polish in the next level once the first draft is complete. Then the next tip is we need to work on is the ending. Give a powerful ending to your short story so that it resonates with your readers and leaves them satisfied even if all the answers are unresolved. You can end it with a realization or a powerful message, or you can put a revelation using an image or a setting which leaves all the answers without the need for words or dialogue. Even if nothing is too obvious, make sure that it makes sense to the readers and there is a natural flow to the ending right from the start of the story. Then the next tip we need to work on is the title of the story. Choose a title that piques the interest of the readers and gets them interested to read more. You can also choose a title that reflects the theme, the metaphor, or the character of your story. Then the last tip to work on for your short story is the editing. Edit your final draft a couple of times to correct grammatical, punctuation, or spelling errors. Don't use repetitive words and remove unnecessary adjectives or adverbs. Remove the redundant sentences as it will help to write in your story, and keep revising to improve clarity and flow of the story. Also remove weak verbs and use strong imagery. Use show and not tell writing technique, where you need to use sensory details, action, and character expressions to convey the emotion to the readers instead of simply describing the event or simply informing what is happening in the narration. So with this we come to the end of tips and techniques on how to write a short story. Do let me know if you have any of your own, any interesting tips of your own, or any short stories you have written and you want to share some interesting details about writing them. And do not forget to like this video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Till we meet next time, have a great day, and also wishing you all the happy new year, happy 2022. So till next time, bye bye.